Hey everybody, thanks for tuning in. I'm glad you could be here today. Alongside, I've got Jan with me. Hey
Hey,
Jan.
Steve. Hey, everybody.
So, here's what we're going to talk about today. I have found a way that I have been able to save about $631 simply by making this one small change. So, Jan, what 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 do you have
What
to
the
share?
folks what the folks don't know yet is that that's every single month. That's really, really big news. You know what, Steve? What I wanted to say is sometimes a person can make 1,000 little changes to save money, which is great. I'm all for that. I'm
Hmm.
always for saving money. You know that, Steve, while
Yes.
living an abundant life and a happy life and going forward and all that good stuff. Or sometimes a person can make a decision to do one thing, just one decision to do one thing, and it could be so impacting. So I am curious to hear the way it is, the way it plays out about your $631 a month savings. Wow.
Yeah, well, I'll go ahead and share. One of the ways of being able to put that money back in my hand is I am highly considering um, relocating to someplace else. Where first off, monthly rent would definitely be lower, so that would be a help.
Wow.
Um, and then I could also, at the same time, be able to cut down on two or three expenses, so that'll help.
Huge.
And by me doing, just those things right there, yes, it puts about right around 631, $632 a month back in my hand. Now, if you take that amount and you divide it over the course of a 1 year period, now this right here is a nice little chunk of money. $7,574.04. That's in a year.
Whoa.
Yeah,
Oh,
so
gee.
think about think about how much, well, one of two things. If you got any extra debts that you might want to pay down or you might want to save money, think about the savings at the end of 1 year based on where I'm at now going over there. Think about a year from now, that's roughly going to be there, $7,574.04, free and clear.
That is a tremendous number, Steve, by just making one decision. Not to intrude, but I want to throw this in because I mentioned on a recent show of mine on my channel
Uh-huh.
about, and it's not necessarily the most popular tip that I give, but to find ways to lower the cost of your housing. That is a huge thing. That is an amazing number. You're right. You could do a ton of things with that number for sure.
Hmm. Yeah, you can. It'll definitely, you know, and at the end of a year, well, also keep in mind, things are subject to change from 1 month to the next. Like I said, that's on an average, so it could be a little higher, could be a little lower from month to month, but basically on a mainstream in the middle figure, I come up with 631.17. So I so I save right around 631, 632, give or take. So no, that would be a tremendous, huge help right there over the course of a year. Now, if there's along the way, in addition to rent, if you're able to take away or cut way down on expenses, then this number could jump again. It could go higher, you know,
That's
because
right.
the more simple I have learned the older that I've gotten, the more simple that you keep it, the better off you are.
Oh yeah, Steve, I can't tell you how many times I've used the word simplicity It is absolutely one of my favorite words of the year with good reason. You're so right.
Hmm.
Simple is absolutely better. And I'm sure it was not like an easy decision for you to mull over. And we're not suggesting for anyone just jump at anything. Do everything with good, careful consideration and really do the math on it. Include everything. You know what else this reminds me of, Steve? When
Hmm.
people look for a job, for example, sometimes people don't ask enough questions. They hear a base salary that they're going to get, and it might sound really, really good, but they don't ask enough questions about like
Hmm.
location, hours,
Hmm.
childcare. They don't really sit down and do the entire math. So, like anything else, I would strongly suggest for anyone listening to this, well, this sounds really, really great, and it's applicable for Steve, for example, in his decision making process. That may not be for you. Sit down and do all of the math. Am I right, Steve? We're not just telling people to just jump out there. You know what I mean?
No, I. It's been a while. I think I did it probably sometime last year, maybe last summer. I know it's been within a year, give or take.
Yeah.
I did a video. Does it really pay to go from one job to another? For the simple fact, if one job is further distance, you've got to calculate that extra mileage and
Yeah.
expense out of your pocket. I have a story, and it's an actual true story, and I might have even told it in the video. I can't remember exactly 100%, but I know somebody who quit one job to take another job that's about an extra 12 to 15 minutes further out by car. Now, the hourly pay jumped about $2 an hour. Now,
Hmm.
I did happen to jump in and say, "Are you really? Oh, but I'm making this amount of money." Okay,
Hmm.
yeah, you are, but after you calculate the distance of driving to the job, which is another extra few minutes out, and come back to where you live, and you do that 4 or 5 days a week, and you're adding in your gas, oil changes, any expenses that your car might need, you're probably, if you're making 15 an hour or 15 and a quarter, whatever the case may be, you're probably only making about 12 an hour once you break everything down.
That's right.
So always factor in, are you really making that much of an advantage or a change to go
Right.
to another job? No, think it out. Don't just, oh, I can make $3 an hour more over here. Well, yeah, maybe so, but again, you got to factor everything in after everything is said and done. Then you'll know.
Absolutely.
Then you'll know for sure whether or not it's worth going ahead and applying for the job.
Well, I think it's wonderful, Steve. And of course, I wish you the very best of luck in your decision making.
Oh, I appreciate that. So, what I will probably do though, not immediately now, but maybe in about a month or two, is I may do like an update video to this one,
Oh,
letting,
good.
yeah, because in about a month or two, I should have a better mental financial picture as to
Yeah.
how things are. Right now, it's basically on a rough estimate. In about a
Exactly.
month or two, I will actually have an actual written down on paper figure that is 100% correct.
Oh, that sounds great.
Right. Then I can look at that and then come back and A B this and see, is it any more? Is it the same? Is it a little less? But then again, everything's going to fluctuate. One month to the next is never the same. So
And I'm so glad you said that before we go. I'm
Mhm.
so glad you said that. Every month is different. Some people's incomes may be the same, but every month has different expenses every single month. I'm not saying that, I'm not talking about like fixed expenses, but you could have a month that has like birthdays, anniversaries, graduation, or oh my goodness, my glasses broke. I have to run to get a new pair. We have unexpected expenses. So these are all things to consider.
Right. And you might as well factor in. I mean, I wear glasses. I don't wear them on camera because of the glare, that comes back at me. But yes, I am a person that wears glasses, and a pair of frames usually runs me 75, $80 or a little better if I had to go and, you know, replace them. So I try to, be very, very careful with my glasses, try to take care of them the best that I mean, I've got three or four pair that I could fall back on, but I've also got my favorites that I like to wear. But that right there is definitely an expense, and that's just the frames. And you may have to go back and have an eye exam if it's not current. I try to stay current on that as much as I can. Then if you want transitionals and do this and do that, so you could be walking out of there $130, $140 just for a pair of glasses after all is said and done. I know how that goes.
Exactly.
All right. Well, guys, I will keep everybody updated on my venture and how things go. And like I said, give it about 2, maybe 3 months at most, so I'll have a chance to get a, you know, full figuring in of how everything goes. And then I'll do another video and then I can revisit, and it would almost be like a part two to this one. But like I said, this right here is strictly an estimation. It's not anything really carved in stone yet. So, I'll definitely come back and visit that at a later time.
Sounds good.
All right. Well, Jan, thank you for coming by.
Oh, thanks for having me.
Sure. All right, everybody. Um, keep a lookout. I or we will always, we're usually on. Keep a lookout of that. Make sure you keep your notification on. Make sure the bell is activated to where you can receive all my videos when they show up. Please make sure you give this video a like. I hope you like what you see here. And Jan and I will see you back here another time.
Take
Thanks
care,
for tuning.
everybody.
All right. Thank you, Jan.
Thank you, Steve.
You're welcome. All right. Bye, everybody.
Bye.